Okay, this is my third attempt at this video because I keep doing something wrong, so it's not recording. Actually, I thought I clicked on the record and share button, didn't work the first time. The I guess that was my second attempt. The first attempt went well over my 15-minute limit because I talk way too much. So let's get started. We are doing the plug project, which is our rectangle tool project. You've already done the rectangle tutorial. Let's do this. New canvas. Let's create sketch. Front back plane. We are going to create a 2-point rectangle. Let's use the shortcut here in the above the create menu. You can always go to the drop down in the create menu, rectangle, 2-point rectangle. Click on the origin. Let's drag it out 27 millimeters, tab by 27 millimeters, and hit enter. We have our plug square. Now, in this particular case, we're going to round off the corners. The plug's going to look like this. All right, so this is 27 by 27. We're going to fillet the corners in the sketch. We're going to extrude that rectangle out negative 30 inches. Then we're going to draw the prongs. The prongs are going to be positioned on the front face of the plug. This prong will be 6.73 millimeters from the left edge. So the left edge of the prong, 6.73 millimeters from the left edge of the plug. I'm going to give you that. I'm not going to make you work out the math. Okay? Probably we'll go through that in class, but not in the video. The height of the plug is 27 millimeters. The height of the prong is 7 millimeters. 27 minus 7 leaves us with 20 millimeters, which means I'm going to have 10 millimeters from the top edge to the top edge of the prong, 10 millimeters from the bottom edge to the bottom edge of the prong. We're going to extrude the prong 17 millimeters, round off the ends of it with a 3.5 millimeter radius. 7 divided by 2 is where we get the 3.5. Then we're going to cut our holes. All right. So we've got our square. Let's go to our fillet tool. Modify fillet. Let's select our first corner. Notice when I'm over the corner, I get a circle and the red projected fillet rounding of the corner. Click. We're going to change our dimension to 4 millimeters. Once you do that, now I can select all 4 corners. They're all selected and rounded. I can hit enter. There's my rounded corners. I'm going to finish sketch now. All right, let's go to the home position. Zoom out just a touch. I'm going to extrude my rectangle. It's going to be a negative 30 millimeters. It's going to be a new body, and we're going to click OK, negative 30. I'm going to hit the home position again so that it's positioned well. Now I'm going to add a 1 millimeter fillet to the edges of my cube here. See how they're rounded in my example that I've done already. So let's go to the fillet tool, keyboard shortcut of F, modify fillet. I'm going to select, I've got tangent chain, so all the connected edges will be selected with one click. There's my front edge. Go back and click the back edge. All right, and I'm going to add a 1 millimeter. So I'm putting 1 in the dimension box, and that is my fillet. Click OK, and my edges are filleted. Now I'm going to sketch out the prongs on the front face of my plug. So let's create a sketch. Let's select the front face. There we are. Now our prongs are a 1 millimeter by 7 millimeter rectangle. So we're going to go 2-point rectangle. Create rectangle, 2-point rectangle. Anywhere in this area, we're going to draw a 1 millimeter by 7 millimeter. So 1 millimeter, tab. 7mm. There's my rectangle. Hit enter. My rectangle's drawn. Now let's position it using the sketch dimension tool. We've used this tool already. Let's activate the sketch dimension tool. It should be in your shortcut up here. If not, go create sketch dimension. I'm going to select the left edge of my prong sketch, the left edge of my plug, click. That's a horizontal relationship, so my drag's going to be vertical. I'm dragging it up here simply to get it out of the way of my design. I'm clicking again, and I'm going to enter my dimension of 6.73 millimeters. I'll hit enter, and that will create a space between the two objects I selected, the left side of the prong and the left edge of my plug, the space between them of 6.73 millimeters. There we go. Now we're going to do the same. I already told how I came to the 10 millimeter calculation. We're going to create a dimension of 10 millimeters between the top edge of the plug and the top of the prong. There's the top of the prong. Notice how I zoomed in so that I'm not clicking on these white spots. The top edge becomes blue. Click. Top edge of my plug, click. Drag it out, get it out of the way. Click again, make it 10 millimeters to create that gap, that space. Hit enter. Escape out of the sketch dimension tool, and I'm going to zoom out so we can see it. All right, use the pan tool. Let's move it up on the screen a little bit. This is being projected up on the screen and you all can see it easier. I've got my first prong drawn. I don't want to go through and do that again the way I did it. I'm going to use the mirror tool to create a duplicate of it and mirror it on the other side. I'm going to draw a mirror line from the center point of my top of the plug here. I'm going to draw a vertical line down. That'll be my mirror axis. I'm going to turn construction on because I don't want that line to actually be part of my design. So I'm turning on construction. Click there. And let's draw a construction line. I'm going to the top edge of my plug and I'm coming across. Oh, got my triangle. That triangle means I'm at the midpoint. That's where I want my line to be. Click. Coming straight down. 90 degrees. Yeah, doesn't make any difference how long it is. All it makes a difference is that it's a straight line down 90 degrees. Click. Okay, there's my escape out of the line tool. There's my mirror axis. Here's my mirror tool in the shortcuts. I can go create mirror. Now to use the mirror tool, I'm going to select the 4 lines of my rectangle. That's what I want to mirror. And then I'm going to select my mirror line here, and it should project it in the same relative position on the other side for me. So let's select my 4 lines. I'm going to zoom in again so I get a clean selection. There we go. The lines are turning blue, not the dot there. Let's deselect. There we are. My 4 lines are blue. Notice I selected the wrong thing. All I had to do was click on the item I didn't mean to select to deselect it. I'm going to select my mirror line. So let's activate that selection. Click on the construction line. It's selected. It's projecting the prong on the other side. Sketch. Click OK. Looks good. I've got my 2 prongs drawn in position. Finish sketch. Go to the home position now. Now we're going to extrude those 2 shapes 17 millimeters. Here's our extrude. Select the first profile. Select the second profile. 17 millimeters. There they are. I'm going to change it to new body. I want it to be a new body because if I were to apply appearances to these prongs, I'd want those to be different than the plug itself. The plug would be a plastic, or the prongs would be metal. Let's click OK. Now let's round off the ends of our prongs. We were going to add a 3.5 millimeter radius. We're going to apply it to the 4 top and bottom edges. These are the 2 tops. Here are the 2 bottoms. Okay. So we are going to fillet. There's the shortcut for fillet, modify fillet, keyboard shortcut of F. The design mode fillet is keyboard shortcut of F. So let's select those 4 edges, and why I'm getting a little bit of, there we go, delay here. 1, 2, 3. If you select the wrong edge, just select it again, and that will deselect. There's 7 millimeters in height. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 millimeters. There's our circular ends to them. When you've got that, click OK. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the holes through the 2 plugs. See how they've got a hole in the end? The hole is going to be from the radius of the arc we just created with our fillet, and it will be 3 millimeters in diameter. So let's create a sketch. We're going to go to the face of this prong here. Click on that. Center diameter circle. And if I go in this area, notice how it turns circular. That's the center point of the radius. Okay. We will click on that and drag our circle out. Type in 3 millimeters, hit enter. Let's finish sketch. Now we are going to cut this way. So we're going to use the extrude tool. I'm going to select my circle as my profile. I'm just going to grab the arrow because I really don't care about the specific length in this particular case. I want it to go through both prongs. That's the length I need. I'm going to click OK. My operation's cut. And there's my home. Let's go to the home position. There we are. The plug is done. The plug is done. You are done with this project. Take your screenshots and submit it. And I will see you in class soon.